Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, and today a video that's probably a little bit overdue. This comes from Jeff. Jeff asked me to do a video on the Orient Sentinel and the Orient Howard, and he's not the only one that asked. A lot of people did, so today we're going to do something. I'll review. I really can't say review. I'm going to go over both watches. There's about 8 different styles I have for you. Same watch, just different size specs. So Sentinel and Howard were released a few months ago by Orient. We've had them for, I don't know, since I'd say around December time frame. They probably came out a couple months before that, but it's probably more of like a new release for 2017. There is not much out there on the internet about them, and I think it's really important to get it in front of the camera and flip it around, twist it and turn it, and people can really check it out. I got to do my wrist check, right? So the first one I'm wearing is this little Seiko 5 military in green. You know, I've told people for years that everyone needs to own one of these. I really feel that way, except I never did. And then I gave one of these to my son, and I got sick of seeing it on his night table, so I took it, and now I wear it, and it's really an awesome watch. I mean, 6 3/4 inch wrist, and this watch is what, 37, 38 millimeters. Fits like a dream. My wrist could be smaller, my wrist could be bigger. I don't think it would make a difference. Other wrists, the Orient Sun and Moon in blue, often requested. It is coming back in stock. Orient will be, re-releasing them this year in 2017, hopefully within the next couple of months. So with the wrist check over with, let's go check out the Orient Sentinel and Orient Howard and see if they are right for you. And Jeff, you could see if it's right for you as well. Thanks. In front of you here today I have 8 watches, and as I mentioned earlier, they all come from the same real series. It's the Sentinel, which are these over, and then 3 of the Orient Howards, which are these 3 on the right. They're very similar watches. All the specs are the same, and the only thing that's different really between them are the executions in the color of the dials, the numbering on the dials, hand styles, etc. But the cases are all the same, so they all share the same specs, and that is, I'm just going to pick this first one up and to give you the specs, and then I'm going to pick each one up individually. It is 41 millimeters in diameter, or 40 and a half, or 41-ish. That's without the crown from here to here. It's 11 and a half millimeters thick, and that tip-to-tip lug dimension is 49 millimeters. That's from my one thumb to the other thumb. It's got a 22 millimeter lug, so no oddball 21s here. You can, you have your choice of aftermarket straps, whatever you want to put on it. You want a different bracelet or a different strap. It's got 50-meter water resistance, thanks to a nice screw-down case back. So decent for, so it's okay for light water play. You wouldn't want to go diving with it. Probably don't want to go snorkeling with it, but a quick jump in the pool is not going to be a problem. It's a mineral crystal, not as hard as sapphire, but it's an affordable alternative. And it keeps the price point of the watches. They're all around the same price. They all sell for less than $150, $130, $140, depending on the case finishing. And like I said, they come on various different bracelets or straps. They are all powered by the Orient F6722, which is, as you can hear me wind it, that is a hand winding hacking movement. It's a newer version of their movements that integrates hand winding and hacking. So if you've been missing hand winding in your life and hacking, so when you pull out the crown, the second hand will stop, this may be the watch for you. So I'm going to go through each one, and then I'll try 1 or 2 of them on to show you what they look like. This is a black dial with silver hands and silver indices. I'm kind of learning my lesson from the last video, where I'm wearing a white shirt this time, at least for the filming of this. But I have to hold it skyward to the white background so you can see the silver hands and silver indices. They are not black. It's picking up the camera reflection when I face it this way. But it is quite legible. It's not an illegible watch by any stretch of the imagination. It has this PVD bezel, or this lunette, matching PVD crown. It's a folded link bracelet, so not the most elegant option for a watch, but again, the cost is being kept low. And if you watched Watch and Learn on how to size a folded link bracelet, maybe this won't be too much of a problem for you. Signed push button deploy and clasp. Exhibition case back, so you can see the rotor and all the guts inside moving around. The date is done negative. I like that they kept up with the styling of the watch, so it's a black background with a white date. You can see that. Kind of matches everything else that the watch offers. So this was the 1B, as I said. And I'm going to move on to, of course, my favorite color, the blue dial. This is the 2D. And what they've done is they've paired the 2D dial, that blue dial, with these orangish hour numbers, which are really cool. Retains the same silver hands and indices, negative date. The lunette now is polished steel, shiny white, matching crown, same bracelet, same clasp, same movement, same size, 22 millimeters, etc. Hand winding and hacking. I like that they've tipped the second hand with orange to match the numbers. I really like this watch. I dig it. I'll definitely try this one on at the end so you can see it on my wrist. Again, these are all the same size watch, so really it's got to try on one or two to really get a feel for it. So again, this was the AC05002D. Then moving on down the line, we're going to pick up the 3B. So now, like the first one, we come back to this PVD lunette. The bezel is done in black and has the matching crown. Silver hands and markers, negative date. Brushed case still. I guess these were all brushed case so far. It's very similar to the first watch I showed you, except this is now on a rubber strap. Like I said, so this is a rubber strap. Kind of a weird choice in my opinion. The leather straps are on the Howard that I'll show you in a few minutes. They did go with the rubber. I don't know. Maybe you like it. I can say I'm not a tremendous fan of the choice of a rubber strap. But being that it is 22 millimeters, you have a plethora of options available to you. Whatever you want to do, whatever kind of strap you would like to put on it is easy. It's a simple spring bar tool. You can pop the strap out and put a new one on a leather. You want a one-piece nylon, whatever. The next one up is the 3S, so AC05003S. So this is the silverish white dial. It's not paper white. It still has silver hands and indices. You see that? They look black. Now they look silver. Silver hands and indices on this silver dial. But even though they're both the same color, there certainly is contrast. It's very easy to read. The date is now positive with a white background, a black date. The black crown with the black lunette, the PVD lunette, is back. On the rubber strap, stainless steel buckle. They went with a stainless buckle to match the case rather than matching the lunette and crown. See-through exhibition case back, screw down, 50 meters water resistant. And then moving on, the last Sentinel I'm going to show you is the 4K. And this might be the one I think that people are taking the liking to the most. This is the gray dial. Not silver, now it's definitely a gray. It's got silver hands and indices. Still no lume on any of these. But now we've made them green. The hour markers are green. The date is negative. The tip of the second hand is tinted green as well. Polished stainless steel lunette, brushed case. Polished, silver crown. See-through case back. That same rubber strap. Handsome looking watch. I really like the contrast of the gray and the green, and likewise I really dig the contrast of the blue and the orange. But I think my most favorite contrast might be coming up at the end. So that does it for the Sentinel pieces. The next one I'm going to show you, this starts now the Howard collection. So what the Howard does, and I'll just hold these two side by side so we can look at them together. What the Howard does now is adds numbers, I guess just the even numbers, to the chapter ring, to the outside of the dial for the hours. Different hands now. They're more of they're a filled-in hand with, I believe it's luminous paint. We'll check it out in a second. Now the inside of the dial, instead of being plain like this one was, the inside of the dial was plain with just a little bit of a concentric circle texture. This is now more of a tuxedo striping texture. And then the outside of it, where the numbers are kept flat. But same cases. Still same 40, 41-ish millimeter diameter, 49 millimeter tip to tip, 11.5 millimeters thick. All the same stuff. 22 millimeter lugs, etc., etc. So this is the AC05005B. Okay. It is done in a gold finish, or a rose gold finish, with the black dial and the matching numbers. Rose gold hands. So as I just found out, these hands are not loomed at all. I thought it was, but it's not. I did try it, and then I had to edit the video to take it out. They're not loomed at all. They do not glow. It's just a white paint. I held it up to bright light, and I ran into a dark area real quick, because when I turn out these lights over here, it's not that dark over here still. There's a light source behind me, but they did not appear to glow. So anyway, this is, again, the Howard. So now what the Howard does is it adds this nice grained leather strap, and this is the kind of strap that I thought would have been on the Sentinel, but isn't. It's like this, just an alligator or crocodile patterning. Nothing super special about it, but it's fancy. It's nice. And it's got the matching buckle, Orient signed. Nice black strap. And then we move on to the next one in the Howard series, which is basically the same watch. Silver hands, now silver numbers, in a polished silver case. Excuse me, polished lunette, brushed case. Crown. This is AC05006B. Same watch as before, but instead we've dropped the rose gold and now picked up stainless steel. Still a very nice watch, still a great dress watch, just none of the gold that you saw before. Which brings me up to the last one, which probably is my favorite, at least definitely my favorite of those three. This is AC05007D from the Orient Howard. It's a blue dial, these blue tuxedo stripes, and these contrasting rose gold numbers, rose gold hands, negative date. I love this one. This is a great looking watch. Just look at that. Look at the character it has. I think rose gold and blue are two combinations that we simply don't see enough of. I don't think that it's massively popular. I just think it has such great pop, and it's something that I enjoy. Obviously, black dials and white dials always outsell any style. Well, with the exception of the Orient Bambino, where the cream dial is the runaway seller. But in this case, I really, really enjoy the blue dial. I like blue dials to begin with, but I just like, obviously, my company logo, I made blue because it is my favorite color. I guess it kind of matches. Screw down case back, exhibition, matching buckle. It comes now on this dark brown. Brown and blue is a nice must. I don't know if you can see that it's really brown. It's tough to see sometimes. Orient brown straps are so close to black. Like we'll sell, I know the Esteem is a major contributor to this issue. The Esteem looks like it's black in the photos, but then it's not. It's brown, and we call it brown. But if you look at the two side by side, you can definitely see the one on the right is certainly brown. It's a very dark brown, but it is brown. But again, this would be the one that I think takes the cake for me. Here's the two blue dials side by side. Since it's my video and I like blue, I will show them both to you. They look great. What I like to do now is throw a couple on my wrist just to show you what they might look like for you, and hopefully let you make a decision of what looks good on you. So the first one up here is the first one I showed you, the AC05001B. At 41 millimeters, it's a fine size for my wrist. It will fit a variety of wrist sizes, I think, without a problem. Very comfortable. It's really nice looking. Next up is the next Sentinel, the AC05004K. It's got that green dial. It's got that gray dial with the green numbers and the green tip seconds hand. It's a great look. It's nice. They have nice contrast to each other. Oh, it's not even running. But luckily it's got hand winding. And it starts right up. See that? And the last one is that Orient Howard with the blue dial and the rose gold numbers and the rose gold hands. AC05007D. Definitely my favorite. Of course, it gets the award for Blue Watch. But still, again, they're all the same size. So they all wear pretty much the same. Very comfortable. My wrist, for reference, is 6 3/4. As most of you know, I always say it. So I'm kind of in the middle. I'm a little bit on the smaller side. Still a very nice watch. This has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, showing you two of the Orient new releases for this year, the Orient Sentinel and the Orient Howard here on my right hand. There's 8 models altogether. with lots of different executions, but again, they are all the same in the size specifications. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our channel if you have not done so yet. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below, and I'll be sure to address them as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.